The needs of logistics providers differs from the needs of distribution and manufacturing classic operations in that it's the flow of goods and not the goods themselves that are the thing. The Response3PL system has been designed to address those needs. It provides a single location in which your operational data can reside, your inventory, your routing information, inbound and outbound orders, special jobs, etc. So by centralizing your logistics operation, you then have several benefits from it. You can make better decisions because both your operational and strategic business intelligence is in one place. It might be scattered around the office right now. It lets you and your people share information. So again, by centralizing it and providing the capability within it for the various aspects of your business, customer service, warehousing, transportation, receivables, can all talk with one another and quickly gain information to your customers to expedite matters or to answer questions that your clients may have. It's scalable, so as your business grows, your application will grow with you. You can start out with a 3-user version running under MSDE and add users as required. So this allows you the flexibility to grow the application as your business grows, and hopefully it will. It presents a familiar interface to the clients, so it cuts down on training time. They feel very comfortable with the Microsoft Office front end that is displayed to them and that they can use. So it's a product that can help you get your business to the next level. It will allow you to get your hands around what the operational issues are and very quickly manage them. So why use it? Maybe you can relate to some of these questions. Does it seem that you're constantly searching around for information? This may be especially prevalent because if you've got your data scattered throughout your office, it makes it a little bit difficult to quickly retrieve things. There are many built-in searches to Response3PL which will let you get to the specific items that are being questioned or that you need to follow up on, and you can very quickly get at those by client or by item, by type of service, etc. Is your account information scattered throughout your office? This is a big question. A lot of the businesses that we go into, their information is scattered throughout. QuickBooks may have accounts receivable information. Delivery costs might be on a piece of paper tacked to the wall. Pricing might be in someone's Palm Pilot. And so if certain players are not there on any given day, it's tough to answer questions, or it's certainly tough to get it all out of one place. So by centralizing this, you then can do things right the first time and not miss anything as it comes up. It stinks doing this stuff manually. Yes, it certainly does. You've got a lot of things to track: customers' inventory, creating storage invoices, making sure everything gets billed, transportation charges and other types of job charges. You're not in the business of building widgets. You're in the business of moving widgets and a whole bunch of other things. So let the system do those things for you. Customers' inventory is automatically tracked. You can create storage invoices at the click of a mouse. You can allow the system to generate picking tickets, bills of lading, obviously things like invoices, and give you and your staff more time to concentrate on the things that you need people to get involved with. Also, the system will allow you to track your unbilled transactions, making sure that everything is going to be billed. Your customer asks you, where'd all my inventory go? You can show them very quickly because of a tool called the inventory ledger. This tracks each transaction to inventory, inbound, outbound, whatever, stamping it with the user and the date and time that it occurred. So you can immediately give them a reconciliation of inventory. Nowadays, more than ever, security is important. So the system will allow you to lock down users so that they can get into only the functions that they should be getting into. Your revenue streams, where are they? You offer diverse services, and you may want to see what are the flowers and what are the weeds. You can get instantaneous visibility on that. All right, enough talking. This is the screen that will greet you when you open up the Response3PL system. So you can see it's a sort of menu-oriented structure. This allows us to lock down things pretty easily by user groups. So let's go in and look at the things that are available for customers. Standard kind of demographic information and other things. We've got a lookup screen that'll allow us to look up by various criteria very often through the customer's name. We can get all the matches. We could resort them. We go to that record. And the first screen's got, basic type of information, including down here your account with that customer, which may be used for things like EDI and, other types of transactions. Sales information, your shipping information, a fuel surcharge, which nowadays has really become important because if you're doing any trucking, there's a lot there. The locations that are valid for this customer. So basically that customer's different ship to and ship from locations, their clients, so that when you put in releases, you can say what the valid places are that you might be shipping them to. All right, let's do some receipt orders, an inbound, basically. I'm going to create new, and that icon always means create new. And we'll search for the account. I want to bring in something from industrial data forms. I can have multiple locations in my own place, so I choose one. I've got a number of different fields here. Date, place, the date I'm expecting the receipt, ship via information, a confirmation number from my client, a date of confirmation if I want to give it. Where is it shipped from? So I want to enter that vendor. Now that would be the vendor if they were shipping it from a manufacturer to you. I'll put in one of that client's items. I'm looking for 1,000. Brings up the cost per unit. I'll also put in the second one, these work orders. So I'm going to have an inbound order with 2 different items, 1,000 of each of those items coming in. If I go in and actually receive these now, I can produce receiving papers for these that my stock guys would use to check things in. I'm going to receive everything basically. And the system will pop up with its screen, which allows me to give the disposition of these things that were being received. Different carton sizes, different quantity per carton. I put in an alias which I can use later on for barcoding. I don't have to. The location I put it into, the number of cartons received, number of packs per carton. I'm going to do that for the second item. The standard number of packs per carton comes in, and as you saw, I could override that. And I'm going to say this is going to be 1 carton of 700, and I'm going to give it a different alias, obviously, so I could theoretically scan it in, and it would know which lot number that gets assigned. It assigns it a lot so that it can trace it. 1 of 300. By the way, I could enter lots as being customer lots as well. It must tie out. I will, let's say I shipped it in, my truckers brought it in, so I'm going to also charge them some type of a delivery charge. Fuel surcharge comes up from the customer's account, and it generated to the consolidated invoice for this customer one single invoice. If I look at the line items, with a couple of different transactions that I've already posted to this. And here's the one I had just put in, those 2 items, the shipping charge, the fuel surcharge, a note describing what the inbound order number was and what date it was received. So I'm good to go with that. And this will accumulate, so I'm not sending 1,000,000 pieces of paper to my customer at the point when I'm going to bill them. Okay, let's go and look at quickly the freight table that sort of supports a lot of this. I have a ship via delivery truck. Those are my trucks. This is all user defined. I created an east region. I created a couple of zones so that I can have different charges for each, and I can break those charges up by number of cartons maybe, or containers of the type we're talking about, or I can do it by weight, by hundredweight. I've got the inventory in-house now. How do I look at it? Well, this screen is really a key for that. This is my inventory status inquiry. Obviously, I've got hard copy types of listings of this same thing. But there I can go and search for a customer, go to their specific inventory, call it up. I can call up in a location what are the things that I've got in there and what were the receipt dates. And I can also look by the actual receipt itself and see what locations it's in case I've got multiple locations. It shows me the quantity in pieces, the quantity per carton, how many cartons are there. If I had a partial carton, I'd see like 2 plus if it was 2 plus a broken carton, and the date received. And we see the oldest ones first because my customer probably wants me to ship out the oldest ones first of a given item. Let's go to an outbound release. And I can provide the customer number. Again, this time I'm just going to do it straight by account. Those locations that I set up for the customer master are accessible through here, so I can pick one of them. This is who I'm going to ship it to, one of his clients. Now, if I don't put in anything down here at ship from, it assumes it's going to print on the paperwork I'm shipping it from my customer. However, I can print another one of his locations, say it's one of his sites, or maybe another one of his his end users, and that will pick up on the paperwork, showing as though it were shipped from that location, even though it's actually being shipped from my location. We don't always want to show the end user the fact that there is a third party, namely ourselves, involved. So going down to line items, I entered customer PO number information onto this, and I had the ship to information as well, so his customer's information. These come in cartons of like 3,000, and I asked for 2,000, so we can create a pick and pack charge, because I went in and I busted a carton. And I may charge on that, and I may not charge for that. So I can set the customer up so that I never charge them for this type of thing. After entering them, I click on this button here, and it will go and evaluate the shipping charge matrix. Comes up with that info, including the fuel surcharge, number of cartons, and the weight, and same type of thing that was done on the inbound. So I'm going to say accept this, and this should create a pick and pack charge, as well as my shipping charge and my fuel surcharges, and there they are. Let's go take a look at some of the documents that we can create. I'm going to use a couple of stored PDFs just to expedite things so we can move along here. But the first document that we want to look at is a picking ticket. It tells me what to send to the back to ship out to my customers ship to. So we'll be shipping out to Long Run Forms on behalf of Industrial Data Forms these two items in 3 different cartons with 2 different quantities per carton. And then a second item, the work orders at 300 per carton, shows me the locations to pick from, how many packs will be shipped, how many, what's the quantity that's been released. I can also produce a bill of lading for those types of transactions that require a bill of lading, really dependent upon the ship via. If I'm trucking it, I want to produce one of these. If possibly I'm shipping it by UPS, I don't. And it's sort of a standard, type of bill of lading that can accompany the shipment. Gives me my number of cartons and my quantities, obviously. Now some of the reports that correspond to the data that gets updated by all of this. I've got some release transaction details. I picked a particular customer. I picked a particular range of dates, but here I've got my end users, the dates of the transaction, how much were released, and how many cartons were released. I also have a report detailing the receipts, the inbound, by customer within a date range, the products that were bought in, the number of cartons that were bought in, the packs, the total quantity that was bought in-house, sort of giving me the other side of the picture, what was coming in. We've already seen the inventory status inquiry, which allows me to take a look at what I have in inventory on the screen, and this is a hard copy of that same type of data, which is very important data. It shows the number of cartons, shows the quantity on hand, the committed, against releases. If I'm tracking an inspection, I can see all that information on here. So I can produce this report and give it to my customer. I can email it. I can put it to a PDF and email it. So I've got a lot of capability that I can do with this report. Or I can print it for my own usage to give to walk in the back with. And this is a copy of the inventory ledger reconciliation. The reconciliation is based on the inventory ledger and shows every in and every out of inventory. So I can actually trace my balance here, where I started with 32,000 and how I eventually got down to my final balance with a receipt of 16,000, a receipt of 5,000, and then a release of 2, and etc. So I can get all that information here. If I logged what vendor I received it from, that'll also go in here. Shows me my user ID, shows me the serial number or lot number that I've got traceability with, and it shows me the location that it came from. So I've got a lot of information on this report that I can utilize, and these are really only some of the reports that exist within the system. So we've produced documents for action, picking, trucking, whatever. We can come to this screen and now we can complete them and bill them. This screen will display all of those things that have been logged as completed but have not yet been billed. I can check using the buttons or using the mouse. I can click on Bill All Selected Orders, and what they will do is they'll send all the orders, all the jobs that we've got to a consolidated invoice for the particular client. So let's go over and create a consolidated invoice. Again, I could create consolidated invoices by type, so if I want all the different types to appear on specific kind of invoices, I can do on that. I actually opted to send everything to one type of invoice. So let's go and preview the invoice for industrial data forms that we've created and look at it so that you can see how the various transactions are going to show up on there. Okay, let's zoom in. And we see here we've got an inbound order, shows the item number that's had charges. It shows my shipping charge. Maybe I trucked it in, that's why I'm charging them. My fuel surcharge. Scroll down a little bit further. It shows me the customer reference number. It shows me a vendor. If I've specified that it was coming in from any vendor, there's an outbound order. It shows the customer PO number. Looking actually at one of the ones that we just created, which should have a pick pack charge on it too. And there it is. Pick and pack charge, the shipping charge, the fuel surcharge. All those display on the invoice for the client so they know what they're being charged for, and all of those go into the specific revenue streams that create money coming in for your company. Hopefully you like what you saw, and you'd like to find out more about the Response3PL system from 2M Technologies. We've been around since 1987, developing solutions for businesses. Here's our contact information. Please feel free to contact us via phone, via email. Check out our website. We'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Thanks for joining us today, and we hope to be hearing from you soon.